Hello, this is David Wilcoxon, and in my is the April 8th, 2024 Eclipse and Bible Prophecy video. I covered the many oddities associated with the eclipse. I explained how it's not a fulfillment of Bible prophecy and shared what I think may happen during and after the eclipse, and I'll provide a link to it at the end of this video. In this video, I'll share some really interesting events that will take place during the eclipse, which makes the event something to pay attention to, as the evil ones seem to have an agenda regarding it. In the Heavenly Father Uses Comets to Mark Events video, I show how Halley's Comet seemingly marked some important points in the fulfillment of the prophecies in Revelation. I'll provide a link to that video at the end. I talked about how the constellations that surround the Earth tell a heavenly story as the sun, planets, and comets travel through them. So it's interesting that Comet 12P, called Pons Brooks, is near the sun during the April eclipse. So here's how it will look on that day. So here's the eclipse sun, here's the comet, we have Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and Mars. Those facts are interesting enough, but when I watched a video from Dale Sides, whose Liberating Ministries YouTube channel focuses on the message that can be seen as the heavenly bodies move, he showed something really interesting. Here is an image of his Mazzaroth chart, which shows the constellations. And you see the major constellations in the large circle that encircle the Earth. So we can see here's Leo, here's Virgo, and all the other constellations on this big circle. The middle circle shows the constellations directly over the Earth, which includes three constellations: Cepheus, which represents Messiah, Draco, which represents Satan, the serpent, and Ursa Minor, which represents the sheepfold of Messiah's saints. We've been told it's the Little Dipper, so a dipping cup. So we see the cup and then the handle. But actually, it's been said that it's a sheepfold. So here's the sheep pen, and here's the path from Messiah's feet. And the enemy has hidden these truths with other stories like the Little Dipper. In his video, Dale shows that the Pons Brooks comet appeared in January 2023. So overhead from Earth with telescopes, they spotted it entering here around the head of the serpent. And through our view of the heavenly bodies, through retrograde motion, it appeared to make a circle around the serpent's head and then heads off this way. In July 2023, Pons Brooks had an outburst in brightness, blowing off gas and dust and brightening by about 100 times. The outburst caused the comet to distort into a horseshoe, so we see that here, or a horn shape with a dark center and bright wings or points, hence why many media outlets nicknamed it the Devil's Comet. The outburst seemingly occurred when the comet was circling Draco's head. Did the outburst represent Satan being bound? Revelation 22 declares, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season." Now, I don't believe we're at that point in prophecy fulfillment yet, as some other prophecies need to take place first, but it's an interesting visual, and maybe this event leads to Revelation 22 being fulfilled. Since my first video about the April eclipse, I've learned some more oddities about what will occur on that day, as the evil ones seek to leverage the event to push their agenda and to create fear. So this article talks about government fearing an Arkansas nuclear power plant meltdown during the total solar eclipse. It says a radiological disaster response team will stage near failing nuclear power plant ahead of the eclipse day. Why would they think that it could fail during an eclipse? What's the rationale? The sun is only being blocked for 4 minutes. But apparently they know this nuclear facility is already failing, so are they going to use that as part of their agenda? This article says that 22 members of an elite chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear unit will be housed in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, in addition to 110 to 150 Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. I get the need for additional police to manage traffic due to the influx of people, as they're expecting like 100,000 people into the area. But why would they need to position chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear experts? Are they being staged there because the evil ones are planning a false flag event? We've seen in the news recently that some government officials say that the eclipse gives an opportunity for terrorists to attack Americans gathered for an event. But that's true of events throughout the year, so why are they focused so much on this one? To make it more bizarre, CERN is firing up on April 8th. Of all of the days to fire CERN back up, they picked April 8th, 2024. And they could blame it for a U.S. or a worldwide power outage, perhaps to create 3 days of darkness, which some people have warned about. To add to the craziness of the eclipse day, NASA will fire 3 rockets during that time. NASA has announced it will fire 3 scientific-sounding rockets into the moon's shadow on the eclipse day. The space agency's project, Atmospheric Perturbations Around the Eclipse Path, will investigate how that drop in sunlight and temperature affects Earth's upper atmosphere. Interestingly, that acronym, APEP, is named after the serpent deity from ancient Egyptian mythology, the nemesis of the sun god Ra, according to NASA. So they will have rockets flying in the air during the eclipse under the guise of trying to discern how the eclipse affects the Earth's upper atmosphere. But given the narrative of Ra, the sun god, it sounds like an occult ritual to me. They could use the rockets as a cover for other incoming rockets that cause an EMP event to knock out the power grid. There have been many warnings in the news about potential EMP attacks from Russia, China, Iran, which the evil ones could use as an excuse to attack those countries. I think that all of those countries are controlled by the general in Rome, and they're being used to create a narrative to support an agenda. Adding even more intrigue to that day, it's reported that enormous explosions may be visible on the sun during the eclipse. Will they blame explosions for problems on Earth, such as knocking out the power? When you look at all the warnings, it looks like they're setting the stage for a false flag event. It could occur along the New Madrid fault line, affecting the nuclear power facilities along the Mississippi River. That would explain the need to position chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear experts. Or they could be doing all of these things to make conspiracy truthers look bad when nothing happens. I found one more oddity that relates to April 8th. The evil ones use sorcery to mislead the world. One of their occult leaders was Satanist Aleister Crowley, who wrote the Book of the Law after he was given a vision from an entity over the course of 3 days on April 8th through 10th, 1904. In that book, he wrote the satanic phrase, "Do what thou will shall be the whole of the law." Will the evil ones celebrate the 120th anniversary of that writing by causing 3 days of darkness from April 8th to 10th? I'm not trying to be an alarmist or to spread fear. Maybe nothing abnormal will happen on that day, but everyone should be paying attention to the events of that day, especially those in the path of the eclipse. It's better to be prepared and for nothing to happen than for major events to happen and not be prepared. Everyone should be prepared anyway, to be without power any time, as weather calamities can occur, and we face a time when we might not be able to buy and sell in the one-world government. Focus on having ways to provide light, cook food, heat your space, have clean water, and I cover that kind of information on the preparedness page on the Revelation Timeline Decoded.com website. It will be interesting to see how the day of the eclipse plays out. Don't let the oddities from the enemy cause fear. Instead, pray against the dark forces. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. If this kind of information benefits you, please like the video, comment, and share it with others, as this helps get the video ranked so that others will see the explanations. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified about new videos as we go through this interesting year of 2024. That's all for today. I love y'all. Shalom.